upset Lionel Messi despite the victory and coming back from being down 2 goals in that game in Montreal. And it had to do with new rules that, as we know, have been implemented by MLS in April. And one of them is that if a player is down on the pitch for more than 15 seconds and needs to have treatment, he needs to exit the pitch and has to do so for a minimum of 2 minutes. So Messi goes down, has a knee injury, is escorted off the pitch. In the meantime, Inter Miami is awarded a free kick. He's the one who takes those. It's okay. Rojas ended up scoring, but he was visibly upset about not being able to get back on the pitch. And he actually said it right into a camera, guys. I mean, so there's no people who understand, the language. We're not mincing words. So have a listen to this. These types of rules, it's going bad. That's just what the people tell me is what he said. Do you agree with him, Ollie? Do you think he was just being a bit of a sourpuss? And do you like the rules that MLS has implemented?
I think there's a bit of a player, obviously, just being frustrated that you can't be out there on the pitch and specifically taking a free kick at that moment, although the free kick that was taken was absolutely spectacular. So it worked out for them in the end. I think this is an interesting idea from MLS. I'm not against it. I think it's the right kind of initiative to be going for, to one, trying to reduce time wasting, and two, trying to increase the amount of active time where the ball is in play, right? Which continually is going down in football. And so anything to reverse that, I'm kind of in favor of. I just think there's a couple of flaws that probably need to be ironed out here. One is the risk that players like Messi, you just kind of incentivize kicking them up in the air. I think if a yellow card or red card is awarded, this 2 minute 2 minutes you have to spend off the pitch is eliminated, and the player is allowed to get treatment and come straight back on. But in this case, it was a foul that wasn't punished with a card, and so he has to spend that 2 minutes off. Doesn't really seem fair, and again, maybe incentivizes teams to take a particularly aggressive approach with players like this. The second thing is just that Miami was losing at the time, so why would they be trying to waste time by spending time on the grounds getting treatment for an injury when they're chasing a game? So is there something you can do there with losing teams to potentially change this rule that makes a bit more sense? I don't know, but I think this was just kind of one unfortunate incident in a rule change that otherwise I think is a pretty good idea.
Well, we'll see. We'll get the data at some point for Major League Soccer, whether this is speeding up games or there's more action time on the field, because that's what they'll turn to. But I'm with Lionel Messi here. It's a bad rule because now you're putting a time limit on how long a player can be injured on the field. It's great. It's like wrestling, like 1, 2. Like I'm watching games and players are down. They're like, oh, I need to get up now, so I don't have to leave the field for 2 minutes. The worst scenario was in stoppage time. I was at BMO Field, New England Revolution and Toronto FC. A player went down beyond the 90th minute. Then they had to come off during stoppage time when they were chasing the equalizer with 10 men because the player was hurt and he had to come off and sit there waiting to come back on for 2 minutes. Come on now. That's not the spirit of the game. You can't put a time limit on how long a player might be hurt. And I'd be interested to hear what the MLS Players Association says about this, because players' welfare, that should be top of mind. You shouldn't be putting a time limit on how long a player needs to get up by in order for them to come off. And if there's one player in Major League Soccer that the league will listen to when a comment like that is made, it's Lionel Messi. They are all in. If any other player said that in this league, I don't think it would matter. But the fact that Messi says that, I think that there will be a rethink, and I think that it comes with good reason.
I think to your point, though, they'll look at everything at the end of the year. The stats will probably tell them, because when you talk about the spirit of the game, I think a lot of players have abused that too. Hence why this rule has had to come into place. I agree with you. Maybe 15 seconds is a little short. Maybe 30. Maybe push it to 30. But if you truly are injured, though, now you have 2 minutes to sit on the sideline and receive further treatment. But this is what happens when you abuse something for too long. A rule comes into place, and then at some point it goes the extreme the other way, and then you got to find that balance. So I don't hold this against MLS for trying to punish players who have taken advantage of this for many years to go down and they roll around. I mean, there's a chant that fans have come up with because some players have taken so long. Dig a hole and bury him. I mean, for crying out loud, we've all heard it. It takes too long, and if you're that injured, you got to exit the field.